Hello, welcome back to Granblue Fantasy Relink. Today is going to be a relatively chill day because,
Need something?
you guessed it, we're going to catch up with the Fate episodes on our other characters. Starting with Rosetta, and then Io, and then we won't have to do it. Just catching them up.
During our stay in Seed Hollow, a certain request made its way into our hands. We were to inspect sightings of a mysterious young girl near the Seed Hollow castle.
You don't think she's a ghost, do you?
I put a hand on Lyria's shoulder to comfort her, and asked the client for more details. According to reports, the young girl appeared to be looking for something. Workers helping with the castle's restoration effort would attempt to approach her, but she would vanish before they could get close. Each sighting would spook another handful of builders, until there weren't enough hands to complete repairs. By all accounts, it seemed to be a ghost. Of course, I couldn't admit that to Lyria. It was not uncommon for spirits to take refuge in ancient ruins or castles, and play tricks on any unfortunate souls passing by. They were almost never malicious, even friendly sometimes. However, we couldn't take our chances. I just wished we had more information to work with. There was something familiar about this story. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Okay, that's actually it for Rosetta. That's the good news. I literally can't do anymore. So, let's move on to Io.
While out running errands in Folca one day, I came across a crowd of people in the town square. But from the sounds of things, it wasn't a friendly get-together.
I hate you all! Mom, Dad, everybody in this stupid town!
The boy shouted angrily at the adults and took off running, right into me. We both landed on our backsides. Sheesh, watch where you're going, kid. And that's when I noticed the tears streaming down his face. He was clearly upset about something. Hey, you okay? The boy hopped to his feet without a word, shooting me a glare before sprinting away. One of the adults started to follow after him, but
Please, Doctor, there's not much time.
the crowd stopped him in his tracks.
But I can't just... No, you're right. My patients need me. Forgive me, Lev.
The man closed his eyes, muttered something to the townspeople, and ran off in the opposite direction. Wait, that kid was crying! You're not gonna go after him? I shouted after the man's back, but he either didn't hear me, or pretended not to. Then I felt a gentle hand on my shoulder.
I'm sure he wants to, sweetheart. You see, that boy is his son.
The boy's name was Lev. His father was a doctor, with many patients needing urgent care, so he had no choice but to ask the townspeople to find his son for him. I knew I should mind my own business. I couldn't get the poor kid's face out of my head. He was probably hiding somewhere all by himself, crying his eyes out. I understood all too well how painful it felt to be alone. When Master Sokka reached out to me, it changed my life forever. Maybe it was my turn to do the same for someone else. I turned to ask the crew if we could join the search, but they were already gearing up to head after him. It seemed we'd all had the same idea. Just you wait, Lev, I thought to myself. I was gonna find him and put a smile back on his face, even if it meant sticking my nose where it didn't belong.
Now who plays Io?
The villagers didn't seem too worried about Lev. According to them, he'd have to venture much deeper into the forest before encountering any monsters. But that wasn't the issue. It seemed like nobody wanted to talk about why he'd run off in the first place. It was an obvious cry for help, and nobody was helping. I went through the same thing back in the day. Even after I met my master, there were times when the loss of my parents was just too much to bear. I didn't go so far as to run from home, but I'd sit alone in the corner of my room, hugging my knees to my chest and crying. Whenever Master Zaka found me like that, he'd always perform a silly magic trick to cheer me up. Just like me, all Lev wanted was for someone to find him, to take his hand. So he went off on his own in the hopes that someone would come for him. I'm sure he knew it was selfish, but it was the only card he felt he had left.
Do you think this means Lev doesn't want to live at home anymore?
I had a feeling that wasn't the case. He's probably just going through a rebellious phase.
Oh, that's when kids start arguing and acting out, right? Catalina told me it's pretty common. Did you have a face like that?
Lyria's question was innocent enough, but I was too embarrassed to admit that I'd ever gone off alone because I wanted someone to pay attention to me. Heck no! That's not something befitting of a grown lady like myself. So what if I told a little lie? Our biggest concern right now was Lev, who was out there, probably crying with his back up against some rough, silent tree. He needed a friend, and I was more than determined to be one for him.
Alright, let's do this.
This forest is as huge as ever. I sure hope Lev's okay.
Come on! We gotta find him, and fast!
Okay, so how does
Wait,
it work?
we're still on the edge of the forest, right? What are goblins doing here?
I will love you, everyone.
Neat!
Superb. Shield.
Come, Crimson Thor!
No falling under
No
my
time to waste. We've gotta find him.
Watch out for the flyers! We're gonna need that magic of yours, yo!
I don't see him anywhere.
Okay, so you see the 3 orbs moving around Io? That's the level stargaze that you can do. So we have 3 orbs, which means we can do the max stargaze, which is our big explosion. How you get those 3 orbs?
That's
you
a
get the
lot
roots
of
out.
monsters! Guess we'll just have to take them all out!
I'm on it.
Watch out!
And you can also get them.
Here it goes!
What do you think?
Incoming!
Oh, come on! Just leave us alone already!
My God. A bloom for any season.
Keep your end.
Full bloom.
Fight harder.
What do you
Find
think?
the head.
So
Full bloom.
it's the
Crimson Thor. No falling under my watch.
no.
Full bloom.
Let's all alone out there. Come on.
You have the concentration, which makes the charging of the stargaze go faster.
Look! There he is! Over there!
Uggos! I'm the one who wants.
Can you satisfy my
Check
soul?
this out!
Come, Crimson's welcome to my God.
Here we go!
I'm with you. Like what you saw? What do you think?
The roses shall protect you. Take my thorn.
Crimson Thor.
Time's up.
Don't play too hard now. What do you think?
No falling.
Winter's flame! fine now. You okay?
Yeah, thanks.
We were lucky we found Lev when we did, or he would have been Monster Chow. But before we could talk to him, the town watch came hurrying over.
Lev, your parents are worried sick about you. Come on, let's go home.
Lev looked away, ignoring the old man's outstretched hand. I could imagine how he was feeling, being treated like he was selfish and immature, when all he wanted was someone to sit down and talk to. The man sighed and scratched his head in frustration.
Your mom and dad are fine people. Try being a little more considerate, okay?
Lev immediately bristled at those words, breaking his silence.
What do you know? This is all your fault!
Knocking the man's hand out of the way, he turned and ran deeper into the forest. It was like watching a scene from my own past, but I wished he'd get a grip already. The deeper he went into the forest, the more likely he was to get attacked. We had to hurry. Hello, this one? We all split up to search for Lev so we could cover more ground. I didn't see any trace of him at first, so I thought I must have gone the wrong way. But then I noticed footprints that looked like someone had slipped over a nearby ledge. And sure enough, when I peeked down, I saw a familiar figure sitting hunched over, knees to his chest. He looked a little scraped up, but didn't seem to be hurt badly. I was just glad I'd managed to find him still in one piece. When I told him I was a Skyfarer, he immediately burst into tears of relief. I could tell he was upset with the villagers about something, and that's why he couldn't be honest with them. But as an outsider, I thought I might have a chance. Watch closely. I'm gonna cast some special magic just for you. It was time for one of my master's patented magic tricks. I showed Lev my empty palm before covering it with a handkerchief. I flung the cloth away, and voila! There was a piece of candy in my hand.
Wow, candy!
Here, you can have it. After devouring the candy, he finally calmed down.
Thanks.
Normally, that would have been enough to lift any kid's spirits. But his face fell again as quickly as it had lit up. I guess he really doesn't want to go home. I decided I wouldn't leave him until there was a smile back on his face. While we were still deep in the woods, I decided to ask Lev up front. Why did you run away? He hesitated at first, but after seeing that I was serious, he started to open up.
My mom and dad used to work as doctors in Tempeel.
Back then, all had been well with their family. But when Furikin went berserk, they lost their home and ended up moving to Folka. And that was when things started to fall apart. His parents began to spend all of their time tending to patients who were affected by the disaster, with hardly a moment's rest. Lev watched as his mom got paler and the black circles under her eyes grew darker and darker. He begged her to take a break, but it was no use. Eventually, she collapsed from overwork.
I told her she wouldn't be able to help people anymore if she got sick. She just wouldn't listen to me.
And here I thought he was just a kid going through a rebellious phase. That wasn't the case at all. That's really grown up of you, Lev. You're just worried about your mom and dad, huh?
Yeah.
After hearing Lev's explanation, I finally understood how he felt. I knew how hard it was watching people you cared about pushing themselves too hard. I couldn't stand to see my master doing it either. And that's exactly what was going through Lev's mind. He wasn't being selfish. Everything he did, it was because he loved his parents.
Now we're ahead of the captain, Io is, in terms of Fate episodes.
If it were me in his shoes, I'm sure I'd be worried sick about my parents too. There's nothing wrong with worrying about your parents. I'm sure they're proud to have a son who cares so much.
But
But what? Something was still on his mind.
I always wanted to be a great doctor, just like my mom and dad. But after my mom collapsed, I started thinking maybe everybody else was just using them.
Along the way, he'd stopped being able to trust the people of Folka, and he thought feeling that way meant he could never follow in his parents' footsteps. Lev stared at the ground as he spoke, finally confiding his troubles to me. After hearing his story, I began to open up about my own parents. He listened to my words in silence. My parents had also strained themselves too hard after getting sick, and eventually passed away. So Lev's circumstances were all too familiar. Just like him, I felt nothing but bitterness and despair. There was one difference. I've got to admit, I envy you a little. After all, your mom and dad are still alive and well. While we were standing there talking, Lev's parents and the villagers were probably beside themselves with worry, braving the dangers of the forest to search for him. When I told him that, Lev finally seemed to grasp the situation.
I really messed up, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Are you sure I'm the person you should be saying that to? I stood up and smiled at Lev. He and his family all seemed like really good people. The only thing they needed to patch their home back together was a long heart-to-heart.
Awesome. Look at that. We're doing so much attack from these episodes.
Have a good day.
Did we talk to anything tonight? Yes, we did. We're doing on time. I think we're gonna visit. We can't visit Luca because that'll read that. We're gonna go through here. Like, Io has a new sigil slot. Totally forgot about that. And improve our others as well. Attack power 1. We have way better now. We have attack power 2 now. I think that's okay. Down 3. Crit rate currently 21. I believe this is also hit, yeah. It's not as good as on her. This short speed of your skill, skybound art, that'd be useful. Could also put health on her. Yeah, I think I will. That'll get her to 3.2k, which is absolutely amazing.
Scampering your weapons?
I think these are fine. Actually, this one was at 50 out of 75. This is just 50, right? I think this automatically upgraded itself. Or did I do that and I just am forgetting? Regardless of whatever happened. I remember doing it, but it could have done it by itself. But honestly, that gives me a good excuse.
Leave it to me.
Put some levels into this. I don't want to use too much material. it looks like we will be able to max it out this out. Let's get it to 65.
It's a great success.
That's the benchmark. 200 more HP, 30 more attack.
Leave it to me.
And then let's see how much more materials we use from here. Still 47, but that's
That went well.
if we get a mana levels. See, almost 100 more HP.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, I feel like this is okay. Having 80 left, more than okay with me. 73.
It's a great success. Leave it to me.
Can get these both to. Yeah, this is perfectly fine with me. I'm fine if I'm not.
Not
We still
bad,
have
is
a bunch more. So that is good with me. We're able to max that out for now. Did that do anything else? No, because these already start like this. Well, speaking of which, since we have them, might as well just so they
Leave it to
they
me.
can get that bonus.
Leave it to me. That went well.
30. Same here.
Leave it to me. Not bad, is it? Come again.
Right? That'll allow us to put the mastery points into there. So 7 for 50 attack. Super
Wait,
worth
this
it.
feels way lighter now.
For free too. And we get. I suppose it's already done, but it was worth it. In case I want to upgrade it, you know, again. It was still worth doing it. So let's see here. We still have 50. We can upgrade like a little bit. 20, 21. Put like some attack into heal.
That's nice.
23. Awesome. And with that being said, next time we will actually start chapter 9. Now that we're caught up on all the Fate episodes, got our digital slots fixed, put in our mastery points, did everything we needed to do. Thank you for watching. See ya.